a great pleasure to for this month at our program. On behalf of actor, I gotta stand the series for committee. I welcome you all. As we know, we have a great speaker today. You know that we've been trying to be a little consistent as an actor, where we are doing this ad hoc program as a month-long program. And we are even yesterday we had a grand quiz, fun quiz, which happened. And a lot of these are getting happened. Our student membership program are also features. Currently, we have guided 5 institutions, and we have students are all student as a student members 30 acts. So, currently, we all are students to have a nice intro about
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being able to me.
Recording.
Thanks, sir. I'll just dive into it. I'm Sunil Sarin, the Secretary of the Advertising Firm of Plus. Welcome you all. Joji Jacob is the Regional Chief Creative Officer of Havas Asia Pacific. He's also the Creative Partner and Cofounder at BLKJ Havas Singapore, the most awarded advertising agency in Singapore, 8 years in the run. Joji is the chair of Havas. Yeah, please. Joji is the chair of Havas APAC Creative Council and a member of the Global Creative Council. In his regional role, he looks after the creative functions of 11 offices across the region. In his 32-year-long career, Joji has worked at FCB Kochi, Lowe Chennai, Ogilvy Bangalore, JWT Singapore, BBDO Singapore, and DDB Singapore. Joji has been named Singapore's most influential creative director by the Institute of Advertising Singapore and Southeast Asia's Creative Person of the Year by Campaign 2 years ago. He has also served as jury president at Cannes, The One Show, the Creative Circle Awards, and London International Awards. He is also a published author and a sought-after international speaker on creativity. I welcome you to this ad-hoc session. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Before we begin, Shoka would like to share a few words about Joji because both of them have worked together in the past. Over to you, Shoka.
Thanks so much. It's an honor for me to be, welcoming Joji. And when we said that we are doing this talks and really like to give us a speech, we really agreed. And busy schedule, it's unbelievable how busy he is because one day is in Bombay, another day is in Cannes, another day is in London. He's just traveling. And I see him as a Chennai boy, and I actually was very lucky to work with him, mentor him. I started out in '95. I was lucky that he was in the same agency. We drank in all the Tasmans around, and we did a lot of things that I can't mention.
You did all this.
Yeah.
Still continued.
Yeah. Okay, is there another slide? Okay, there are a few things that I want to share about Joji. By now, you have seen some of the work, some of the slides that was, on show here. Joji is not just a writer; he's multi-talented. He can sketch beautifully. Some of these things he has only sketched. Not some of these. All of these things he has sketched. And the beauty behind those sketches is also the thinking behind it. And Joji, in his pastime, when he's not thinking of ads, he is thinking of something. He's a born creator. He loves creating. He's always doing something or the other. He's scribbling. And is sometimes I've led him is like I think when he was looking for shift or somewhere, he didn't even send his portfolio. He just sent his scribbling plan. Is that true, Joji? I remember Balki mentioning this. I assume it should be true. Yeah. So you just imagine when we carry portfolios and we share it, we go around. But Joji just sent this scribbling back, and everybody was drooling. And so I was really lucky to have front row seats to what Joji can do. And today you will be seeing a glimpse of what he has done, and he's going to inspire us. And I'm sure a lot of us going to be, I specifically took 2 slides from his presentation. Called as paid. You know why? Nobody can give feedback like Joji. Okay. When I started out, I go with an ad with the headline, and I just go show Joji. Joji was not my supervisor or not, I mean, he wasn't my boss, he was just a colleague, but he was 2-3 years senior. But within the 2-3 years senior, there was so much maturity and so much guidance and mentorship that was there. And I was enjoyed that. So he will look at my ad and he'll say, "I am mother." So that's the feedback that we get. And we quietly go back and come back with another line or so, and we will go back again, and it will still look at it and say, "No, my mother." Okay, that's the feedback. So it's amazing, and that actually, egged us to do better, and eventually even say, "It's not bad, Dad." That's it. That made our day. And then we'll have the guts to go and show our creative director. And chances are, like, we'll go on to win some award. So I was lucky. Thank you, Jyoti, for that. And, next one. Yeah. If I have to sum up Jyoti, this is what Jyoti is. This like sums up Jyoti. Okay. See, I met him when he had just come from, I think, shifted from FCB Kochi. And he was in Ninta Chennai, and from Ninta Chennai he went to Ogilvy Bangalore. The best thing is, like, a lot of us were aspiring to move to another agency and everything. He will always tell us, "Come home, come to Bangalore, stay with me, get your portfolio, show it to the people around. I will give you some contacts, you can go meet, and you'll encourage us to go show our work." And a lot of us owe our careers actually to people like Jyoti, because he was kind enough to give feedback on the work and also gave intro to various creative directors. It was very difficult because there was a lot of people going around with their portfolio, and he was like, push us to go and take. And that didn't stop in India. When he moved to Singapore, and breaking into Singapore as a writer is one of the toughest things. And Jyoti just didn't do that. He actually, went on to become the most celebrated creative guy in Singapore. So it is amazing because our own boy, our own non-boy, is world famous, he's so popular, he's really good, and that's all because of his work. And the best thing is, he hasn't stopped getting people, asking people to come over, try their luck in Singapore or anywhere it is. He really, mentors everybody. And he has helped so many people, and a lot of people in this agency over their careers to him. And there are so many superstars thanks to him. Okay. So over to the man. Thank you so much. How does this work? Is that better? Yeah. Really loud, right? How does that work? Shall I just use this thing? Yeah, go ahead. No, you want to switch that out. You can just switch this on. You don't like music. Can you take this? Okay. No, this is short. It's not regular mic. This is working now? Yeah, okay. So I mean, there's just a very emotional moment. I mean, honestly, I came to Bangalore on the day before yesterday. And then I told my slides about me. Yeah, okay.
Suresh.
I will log in, sorry.
Make the walk.
This is the Havas Singapore.
No, I was saying that I went to Bangalore on work, and the plan was to go for a bunch of us to go to Tirunelveli because very, it's not working, guys. Play. The technology sucks.
Okay, what was I saying? I was saying that I went to Bangalore on work, so because Havas is setting up an office there. And then it so happened that I told this guy, Subhu here, that hey, let's make a plan to sit Bangalore as well. And then suddenly Joker co-opted me and it became this. So I packed like a kurta and like Badana and all that because I was going to Raman Ashram, so I really became a jacket, this thing and all that. But I'm really happy to be here because I'll tell you why. Because I mean the things that Chota, I mean the embroideries that it wasn't anything like that. We were all great colleagues and it just so happened and the enthusiasm. When I was working at Lowe in Chennai, it was an amazing time. Probably because of the age that I was at, probably because in a small town there from a little village called Kochi. And when I came to Chennai, that was my first big exposure to like a really big agency and seeing people and seeing the work and how people live, breathe, work, right? So, uh, and also I think of Chennai as my karma bhumi because I had a very bad stint at an agency which I won't name in Bangalore, and where I was told that I'm not going to be a copywriter, you should look for, maybe become a Hallmark creative cards writer or buy a job at a tabloid. So I remember one distinctly, of course, those days I was very young and reckless. No, I'm just old and reckless. So I burned everything that I had. Like I literally burned it. All the notes that I had and the ads that I had. And I took a train to Chennai, and Chennai embraced me. Right? And I made some of my best friends in Chennai, the Notorious Bug gang. Some of them you would recognize here. Right? And Suresh was my first boss here, who gave me the first big break at VHS. And the, you and your city embraced me and gave me the skills that helped me go out and do something with my life. It helped me make a living, it helped me make a career. So, having said that, so what I want to talk about, this is very informal, casual kind of a session. I'm not going to give you yarn. What I want to share with you is an experience, and it's a very personal experience. I think if you ask about Khan, so before that, may I know, just to know the room, just to know us, how many of us have been to Khan?
One.
Okay, that's a sizable one. How many of us have heard of Khan? How many of us want to go to Khan? Not just to see, but to win. Okay, great. So in the next 60 minutes, what I will try and do, hopefully I'll stop talking before you guys stop listening. But in the next 60 minutes or so, I want to take you through a journey of Khan, what happens. Because I think it's important to know why all the networks, everybody keeps talking about this Khan, and why I think, from my personal point of view, it's an important thing in every creative person's life, every marketer's life. I'm not saying Khan is the be all and end all of it, but as I go through the thing, I hope you'll see why Khan commands the prestige that it has, right? So, and it's an informal session. Please feel free to stop me. Please, if you think I'm spouting nonsense, just say, hey guys, I challenge you. Like what is it about? So, next 45 to 50 minutes. Okay, so what the fuck is all the fuss about, right? So a couple of things. So there is a planner called, a highly respected planner based in Australia called James Herman. So James Herman wrote this book for a life of me now I can't remember. But it's a brilliant book. James Herman, if you Google it, will come up. So what he's done is he's made it his life's mission to analyze winning awards and like 3 years later track how their brand is doing. A product or a brand wins a Cannes winning wins a Lion at Cannes, and 3 years later or 2 years later,
what is the correlation between commercial success? Because at the end of the day, Khan is not the goal. Commercial success is the goal. We are commercial artists, right? We are not artists. We are like, I don't know, some failure version. So, and what he has found is that about 76% of the work that wins a Khan also does really creatively, commercially well, right? There are some that falls to the fact because Khan, like any other human-made organism, is full of faults. I mean, scam ads get through, politics happen. But 76%, as much as 76%, according to the last one, does really well in the market. So there is a high correlation between creative excellence and effectiveness, which is why, for those who have been to Cannes, you'll see that all the who's who of the corporate world are there, who's of the tech world are there, who's of the creative world are there, who's of the entertainment are there. So all these people, if they're coming, it can't just be to spend like a week in French Riviera where you're, well, why is shit? Things are expensive, the streets are not very safe to walk on. So there is a real reason, right? Second is there's a neutral third party too. So, and I think that is important because what we do is a very subjective business, right? Especially what we do as creators is a subjective business. I mean, it's not like I add 2 and 2 and it becomes 4, right? And so a creative person or a creative organization is always on the verge of insecurity. We never know if you're really right or wrong. So Khan is one of those things that validates our creativity, that we're doing things right. So it's a third party jury. Again, it's not perfect. There are cliques and there are politics and there are voting blocks, but this is what we have, right? The third thing I think is very important, especially for the young people in the room. It's a week-long festival of learning in networking, right? I cannot emphasize the number of seminars that happen. A lot of them are free, a lot of them are quite expensive to go to. But there is learning. In every corner you meet somebody who's done something amazing. And lately, I mean, the first time that I went to Cannes in 2022, it was just advertising people, right? But now you have tech, you have entertainment, you have media, you have all sorts of people. So then you can walk up to everybody except a few quality. But then WBB in the room. Not that. S4. Like a Martin store, of course. But if you try hard enough, you can get to Martin store as well. So you can take anybody's play, right? And then you meet people from all over the world who have different way of thinking. You definitely come back changed from that. You come back more ambitious. You come back saying, why can't I do better work? You come back with more confidence to stand in front of a life and say, defend your idea. Things like that. More than vanity, there are practical uses of going to this like that, right? And finally, it's a logistical field, which is just to see an organization like that work. So the same people who manage the logistics of F1 also manage the logistics of right? So which means if you are a jury member, they will pick you up on time, not 1 minute late, not 1 minute early. Your hotel will be fine. Your delegate pass will reach you. They'll pick you up every morning. They'll drop you every morning. Goes without a hitch. So as many as 30,000 people attend, they take care of every single one of them, right? And it's an emotional roller coaster. I mean, like the kind of conversations that you hear are like there are deals being made, there are mergers happening. There's all kinds of stuff going on, right? So those are some of the reasons. Again, this is a very subjective point of view. This is what my learning said. I'm not saying. I think if you ask somebody else, they might have another set of rules, but I think some of these will be common, right? With me so far, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the logistics. This is the statistics of last time. 27,000 entries from 87 countries. Might be of interest to some people here. 13% entries use AI of these 27,000. 13,000 delegates from 100 countries. 350 awarding jury from 54 countries, 30 categories. Iceland and Kazakhstan won their first clients. India's worst performance, I'm sorry, in 2019, but Singapore's best performance. So I do this thing where if India is doing well, I say, we Indians agree. And if Singapore is doing well, I say, we Singaporeans agree. So it works for me, right? So that is the logistics. This is the beautiful town, highly overpriced, crowded, but it's from the French Riviera. It's the festival happens. This is the Pellegrino festival. And then there are beaches, naked people, hotels, right? Hotels, all kind of stuff. I have a bit more of a graphic map. So this is what it looks like. We land in Nice. There's no airport in Cannes. There's a helipad, right? So we land in Nice and then we take a 1-hour drive. It's the Pellegrino festival. So in when I first went to Cannes in 2001, this all used to be ad agencies. This would be Leo Burnett, this would be Ogilvy, and there are fabulous parties. But now, if you look at it, this is from last year. Now the ad agencies are here because so you see the Cannes railway station is here. It's the cheapest area, and this is the beach front. This is the most expensive area. So the agencies have moved there. The agency parties have moved there. And then as you get, let's say for example, if a junior copywriter was lucky enough to go to Cannes, like I was, you say from like sometimes on top of a sex shop or a kebab place. It's true. And then as you become senior and if your network is generous, you move closer, right? And then at some point you become Elon Musk or New York, away from the White House. But that is how it works. Okay.
You haven't mentioned the cost of a delegate bus.
Yes, we will come to that. I mean, I don't even it's expensive. I can tell you about that. So this is the hub of the action, right? So this is called the ballet. Now the fact that you must know about am I being recorded?
Yeah.
Am I being recorded?
Yes,
Yeah. Let me go on the list. This is not a fire safe place. So kids are not allowed in this building. So this place is very, very old building. The film festival happens here. So you know, one guy there's a native of Cannes, is a Belgian guy. He told me one thing which was that's an anecdote. I think it's interesting. He said first you have the film festival, then you have the pornographic film festival, and then you have the advertising festival. And the quality of people keeps dropping. But the quantity of drinking keeps going up. Right? So Cannes is a place where it's a festival of some sort or the other. It could be international podiatrist festival to international 300 days a year. Right? So yeah, but this is the ballet, this is where the festival happens. This is what is happening after the festival is over and people are coming out. Right? And this is where this is the red carpet, probably the heart of Cannes. So one year when I was a very impressionable young man, when I went there was a guy called Cash. I don't know the his name. He's a Chennai boy. So he used to live in Singapore, but then he worked at Ogilvy in Chennai for a while. He walked on this podium with 18 lines.
He was here.
Sorry, he gave a speech.
He gave us news.
He gave a speech here? Okay, brilliant. So that guy, that was the year he did Nike Shade Runner and Nike Tag. And then one everything, right? Then he was walking down, and I had one now. Like I was standing somewhere here. Right? And this guy is coming down, and I was looking at him and I said, but this guy is wrong, I'm wrong. How can I do this? So I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still trying, right? But I'm saying that is how it works. And then once he's coming down, there are photographers and folks, and we have all kind of print magazines. Everybody swamping them. That happens. I've been fortunate to judge Cannes 5 times. Once as jury president, and 4 as not because I'm great or anything, but because I sit in Singapore, and Singapore is a very tiny geographical place that punches way above its weight that in creative awards. So they look at it from time to time because there's a small country that has many people. I get picked now and then again. And I think I landed in time for the jury meetings and I said polite. So they keep calling me again. So the last time I judged was last year. I was part of the innovation line jury. I won't spend a minute talking about the jury especially. Not because I am there, but because what Cannes is doing is, and this is why I have a lot of respect for Cannes, unlike I have a lot of respect for the other award shows as well because I want them to invite me. But Khan does something spectacularly well. What they do is they put their money where their mouth is. They take they take their jury selection very, very seriously, right? So inclusivity, diversity, having neurodivergent people, having differently abled people, having people from all sorts of walks of life is very important for them. So this guy is a New Yorker cartoonist, right? This guy. This lady she runs she's a CMI Spotify. This gentleman, he was the youngest in the jury. He's a traditional advertising creative guy. She runs chain in Korea. He is the global CEO of AKQA. Now this man, he's visually challenged in the sense that he cannot see properly. He's got like a 20% vision, right? And then she's with Amazon, and this is a lady who makes the jury is always the time. You know, so I bring this point up to say that even 2 years ago the jury would not be like this. The jury would be people like me and Chopra and other creative guys. It was purely creative. But now there is a counterbalance. So for example, when somebody like me gets really excited about an idea, suddenly your client person will say, hey, look, can we, are you sure this is feasible? Are you sure this has longevity? Are you sure this has legs? So that makes the work a bit more safe. The creative guys, including me, still hate it because we fall in love with an idea, we think it should be. I think what we are looking for is Priyanka Chopra. What she is looking for is Smita. So not Smita, sorry, Smita Patil. So it becomes a tussle. Then you have all these things. So it's a very interesting conversation because we come from very different points. So I'll give you again. How are you doing on time there?
We are good.
Yeah, keep on.
Keep going.
So this man was very invaluable. Invaluable, sir?
Yeah.
Invaluable. Because there was an idea which we fell in love with. I mean, pure creative guys, this guy, which was basically a walking stick that also had a sensor. So because it's like, there was an idea that a walking stick which had a sensor which would tell me who's in front of. No, it wasn't walking stick, it was some sort of a wearable. So we said, wow. So now we don't need walking sticks anymore, things like that. He pointed out a very basic thing that had escaped all of us, which is the walking stick is not for him.
How will others know?
Yes, the walking stick is not for the blind person, it's for the other person.
Correct.
The sighted person will know that this climate is coming my way. So either get out of the way or I help. And the other thing he pointed out was that a sensor, the way it was, it could only detect what is in front of it. One of the biggest fears that blind people have is going downstairs. And that this sensor can do. So that went from all of us were pitching, give it a go, we should have been mistaken, right? And that is it. We would have completely lost the respect of the blind community. But because the jury was so mixed up, so varied, we prevented some creative follies like that. So the point I'm trying to make is every jury in Khan, they're trying their best. Like I think the jury presidents have just been announced. If you look at that list, it's varied. I mean, it's not just about are you from a big network, it counts, but that is not the only criteria. What is your experience? What kind of work have you done? What causes are you supporting in your real life? What's your social media feed like? Right? So they're looking for multi-dimensional people rather than highly awarded people, which is how it used to be 10 years ago. Then coming back to the actual visible experience, so when you're judging, what happens is calm again. It's a for-profit organization. So when you're judging, usually say, let's say you're judging a category, let's say direct. So the direct judging goes on for about 3 days. So they put you up in a fancy hotel, right? Let's just say. So I once shared a room. I once stayed in a room that Madeline would also stay in. Not at the same time. but then as soon as the judging is over, they kick you out. Then you have got a road trip. It's like So these rooms go for about like 3,000 euros a night, 4,000 euros a night. Then suddenly you are in like 3,000 euro nights. And then the network finance they say, 3,000 euros, surely there must be something cheaper. And that is the platform of registration. Can't exist. Right? But being on the jury is a nice experience because so this was my jury from last year. So they take you through a labyrinth. You know, every morning a lady like this will come shepherd you from your hotel. They'll walk you through this private entrance. Then the jury president will tell you what his expectations are, how do you think we should award that category, etc. But that is the end of the daylight. Then for the next 3-4 days, if you have a film category, you are in a room for about like 4 weeks with just this. Right? So outside people are having fun, they're drinking dose, they're attending parties, they're doing this, but the jury is here. So most people think being a jury is like really fun as that. It is fun, but it's also this. So then people sit and then discuss work and discuss work. Food is recommended by which so and then but some juries have a very interesting suit to take care. Some juries have a very like the innovation jury is one of the best juries to be on because you have live presentations by the finalists. So for example, one of them is the Amazon, not Jeff Bezos, but the second in line. So the client and the agency will come and present. Jeff Bezos made an appearance on Zoom, and they pitch this case that why it should be in a line, and then asking questions. So it becomes very interactive, it becomes very live. So it is a you come back learning something. Right? When you hear a CMO speak about an idea of this kind of passion, you can come back and say, this. Look guys, Jeff Bezos was actually presenting, so suddenly my local clients suddenly okay, maybe next time I will do something like that, right? And then while all that is happening, you have wonderful seminars outside happening, like Elon Musk was there the last time, Jay-Z was there. Bill Clinton was there much before the Monica Lewinsky episode. Barack Obama was there. So you get amazing luminaries come and talk, express their view, and advertising people being not having a big filter. Ask them really tough questions, which journalists don't. So yeah, and then once in a while they do some nice things like they take a picture up and they make some fuss about you, right? But this is where the action happens. This is for the ballet. So it gets packed, right? So people queue up, so the winners get to sit. So if you're winning, they call you in advance and they say, are you going to be there? And they won't tell you you're winning, but it's you're going to sit for you. So they let you sit here, but everything else gets packed. This is another gallery on top, it gets packed. If you're not there in time, then you have to sit outside and watch it on TV, then my husband sit in the agency and watch it. That's us, right? So then again, once in a while, if you're lucky, you win something. Obviously, I haven't won anything in the last few years because I still had now I do, right? And then this is a big finale where this is Ogilvy celebrating for 2-3 years ago. But not 2-3 years ago. When did Piyush Pandey retire? Recently, right? Piyush Pandey.
2 years back.
So Piyush Pandey is here. Yeah, that's because he's retired. Otherwise, we'll be here. But this is Ogilvy network for the year. They all go out, have a big party, right? Then the younger people have a even amazing party, right? Then there are these boats off the show with the sea. They do this spectacular fireworks show. I don't know how many birds they kill or scare off. Then the young people obviously have a party, right? It's all paid for. the sweet flow of alcohol, and then this is the final day of the party. There's a real shot. I should have asked this face, but for the grace of God, there was me. It could have been me, right? So it's a very common kind of. So I mean that is the logistics of Cannes. I hope it sort of gives you an idea of the flavor of what happens in Cannes. The fact that I mean the frivolous part apart, it is a serious function. There are a lot of meetings happening. There's a lot of learning happening. There are guys like Josie Paul. He will put every single seminar or writer notes religiously. He's not getting hungover or taking. Is with the shaky hands, it's still making notes, right? So it is a serious festival where if you're so inclined, you get ready to go, learn, come back with a bag full of wisdom that you can apply to your day-to-day work. And I think if you win at Cannes, your confidence really goes up. I mean, because you can sit in front of a client and say, "No, I can't win it." And well, you don't say it like that, but you say it in the art. And then you stand up in front of the client and then you present. I promise the reception that you'll get. I've been in agencies that have won Cannes, I've been in agencies that have won Cannes. I've always found it more pleasurable to work in an agency that has won Cannes because the body language is different. People walk a bit taller, people collaborate more. There's more team spirit. They go into pitches more confident. If somebody says the pitch is, I don't know, XXX agency, we'll see. You know, there were 2 lines, we want 3. So, while Cannes is an award show, I think the trickle down effect of it is amazing. It somehow, again, I think it's because we, as a creative industry, we don't get enough validation. Right? And it's a very subjective business. It's like, how many times apologies to all the clients here, but how many times do clients stand up and say, your work is really good? Or how many times do ECB say, man, that's amazing? So you do need a festival like this, especially the creative people, especially the marketing people. If a marketing manager says, guys, I want to win a line, I'm telling you, the agency will bend over to make things happen. And I've seen it happen again and again and again. And it's like I say, it's the first billion that's hard to make, it's the first line that's hard to make. After that, it becomes a muscle memory. After that, the teams know what to do. After that, they come together, forget all the differences. And it's just amazing. The day after you win a Cannes line, the agency becomes a different agency. I've seen it again and again and again. Right? So, and I just wanted to briefly touch about what I think are some of the things that could help us with a timeline. What makes for a timeline a piece of work? Again, this is very subjective list, but I think if we ask 10 people, they will probably agree on 4 of these. Right? So the first is very, very obvious, which is industry relevant, original, simple, and beautiful. Like it's the fundamentals still apply. Kiss is still a kiss, a sigh is still a sigh. So if it's not beautiful, nobody's going to care. If it's not simple, nobody's going to remember it. If it's not original, it's eminently forgettable. And it has to be relevant. Why is it important? Right? So those fundamentals have never changed. Now, some things might not be so obvious today, but like for example, what if you see it's my next slide, but I think it's appropriate here. It's like the jury is nothing but the jury is consumers too. It's just that they have a bit more experience in the trade, right? And they have a better bullshit, right? So bullshit filter. So they can look at something and say, this can't really be done, or this is a prototype, or maybe it didn't work in market, or they're fudging the numbers. So, but the jury is a bunch of living, breathing human beings like us. So what moves us? What moves the consumer will move the jury. It's just that bit. The jury has a bit of a more anal retentive filter, anal retentiveness. So obviously the first one is self-evident. Second one is maximum meaning and minimum meaning. So how can I use the least? I'll show you some examples. how can we use the least number of elements to create the most meaning? So, for example, I don't have to have activation and experiential store design and print and to hook up one campaign. But if I have just one thing and it went and created an impact, that's what I mean. You know, they improve it. It has a high degree of difficulty. I mean, anything, I mean, big things like Great Wall of China. Why do you think it's amazing? Because of the degree of difficulty. Taj Mahal, degree of difficulty. Sending man to the moon, degree of difficulty. So we remember those things and we impressed by those things. All the added difficulty, right? So this is a new thing which I don't know how it is here. I was trying to grow joke about it, but like in Singapore at least, where I work and where I am office, all the young guys just want to do tech. They say, well, what is the idea? Oh, we're going to connect this to that, and then it'll beam to the moon, and then from there it'll beam the something. But why? And like, yeah, tech is okay, but like, how will you impress your girlfriend or the consumer? Right? So tech is a tool, and I know it. It's obvious, but you'll be surprised how many times young people have to be reminded of this stuff that technology is just a tool, it's not the end, it's a means. And finally, again, I'm stating the obvious, it has to move people, right? Like I said, I think it's the next slide, which is a jury is nothing but consumers who have industry experience and a sharp ownership with that. So when you're on a calm jury, you're sitting and looking at in a day, if it's a direct category, you're looking at 1,000 case studies. And they all start with this campaign and vital. It changed behavior by 32%. President Biden tweeted about it. So it's all the same nonsense. And we watch this again and again and again by like your topics in less than 1,000 right? So there is fatigue. So first of all, we have to be aggressive. I mean that goes without saying, right? Even in a conversation in French, we have to be aggressive. So I want to show you a few. Like I have 32 cases, but we don't have the time to show all that, and you will feel fatigued. But at some point, I'll send it to Choka or to Subu or to anybody here, and you guys can at your own leisure. It's all stolen from. So please don't distribute it. Please use it for personal consumption. So I wanted to show you one or two examples that, according to me, actually move people into doing something, right? Or when you see it, you say, "Wow, okay, wish I had done this." Or like I really like this, or you talk about it with someone else. So the first example that I want, and these are all pieces that were combined in different categories last year. Yeah, so it's really recent work. So, can everybody hear? Okay, so for this sound is very important. That's what I'm making sense. That's what I'm saying. Does it interest you guys? Yeah. That's my dog right there. Who doesn't care, Jack? So every year, Khan also introduces when we're getting a new category, but they also drop a category. So like this year they have introduced luxury brands because they realized the emergence of luxury marketing, right? So like Havas, the company that I know, is setting up a luxury chain of luxury businesses. So they introduced that, but they've taken some, I forget what it was, they've taken something out of the equation. Because I think music will be important for all the cases that are coming. Yes, you can take a place over here.
I think it was quite okay.
So okay.
Just relay the mic, the mic.
Is it audible? Behind?
Yeah.
It's just starting.
Good to
Participar desses fizeram tema que termos projeto mesmo, uma escola e construímos para poder ajudar essas crianças a fazerem os exames de segurança escolar.
Millions of enterprises worldwide. This is just the beginning.
E pensava que isso era horrível, mas até que eu possível. Assim, não
So this in mind is like this in my mind is what advertising and marketing is fine. Is when you have a parity product, how can you make okay, I'm stepping into the idea and that's not my forte. But like how can you make a brand endearing to the consumer, right? And you can't watch this and then not feel for that, right? So I wanted to show you one more example. Maybe the sound, right? There are some. This is the 5 years of failed effort and not taking themselves too seriously. And knowing what they're about. I mean, this is a brand that's very confident in what they stand for, right? And what they've done tirelessly for 5 years or more is to constantly do simple things to engage people again and again and again and again, make it fun, get people to come, make them use. So I think that this is what it's just in my bank account.
No, not at all.
So is that video a case study of what Heinz did or?
In 5 years, it's a case study. So let's compare all the
The actual
campaign.
campaign and the advertising films must have been entirely different.
Yeah, obviously, it's about 10 different campaigns. Like the Jigsaw Puzzle is it's not a campaign, but it's an activation.
So is this what the jury looks at to
Yes.
understand what?
So this would have been, this would have been entered in something of a creative effectiveness category. Right, so this is very category specific. And then they would have looked at, okay, over 5 years, they've been very effective. Is my voice sounding like Bob's voice? Is it echo?
No, it's fine.
No.
It's fine.
It's good. Like Morgan Freeman. It's okay, we can use the sound. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we are okay. Sorry. Interruption is the enemy of interest. We may just do it this way. Didn't we? Yeah. No. Okay, so, no, I missed something. Okay, so this is reference to, at least the crowd that I know with the young people, the average agency of average age of agency is about 28 years old, and they're all in AI. And like every week you give them, say, what can we do with AI? And sometimes they'll ask, but why AI? Why not like a simple ad shell or a poster? Then they look at me like I'm some sort of band. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I don't know. But there is a way to use tech relevantly in this place. It's not like I need to. I mean, that would be like I'm having, I don't know. I mean, I think Gita is like that, but Italy with ketchup. Because AI is ketchup, why would I want to mix things up? But let's take a look at. But I just want to show one or two examples which in my mind AI has a real case, right? Not just AI for the sake of AI, so I can tell my body is at a pub that day, and it's something AI. What is so sad?
The French women's national team is drawing attention with a new ad. It's maybe something of us. That is kind of thing that would go viral somewhere during the Washington.
Yeah, that's, I agree. But I hope you know what I'm saying. Basically, it, the tech, the idea wouldn't have been possible without it. No.
That dog is instantly dropped out of media's rotation. Now, the fruit pedigree campaign is your adoptable dog near you. Adoptable is very animal, but this translates nowadays in individual composition and also specific.
Using really leading edge technology that's never been done before to help us as an activist brand really move our purpose forward.
Adoptable is transformational for us at Pedigree because it puts our purpose at the heart of everything we do. Now, every dollar we spend on digital out of home will not only help to bring our products to the world, it will help bring adoptable dogs to the world.
Brilliant.
Okay, and then so no, yeah. Oh, yeah. No big budgets, no printing, no nothing, but just a beautiful, powerful idea. It's going really well. I think almost done that. I just want to show you.
A disability is visual impairment. Despite this, only some districts have tactile tiles, a universal system that direct and alerts blind people from the streets. It helps them, but it's not enough.
Tenemos que depender de una persona que ve. Si no, estamos buscando que nos ayude, no sabemos qué pasa, qué es más de aquí, trabajo, qué.
That's why Solo, the leading Peruvian cement brand at the district of Miraflores, present Cycles. In collaboration with different organizations for the blind, we designed a new system that allows them to find the places they need by hand. A horizontal line tells you to count the following lines to your hand. Lives are
Por la ejecución, ese proyecto creando así una realidad multiplicadora que ayuda a las personas a mantener su identidad.
all the information is open source to encourage other cities to implement cycles.
The agency response and communication briefing. It's perfectly fit for purpose, just relevant.
In creating this product, we never thought of it as a limited edition. We decided that it was going to serve a community and it would stay on shelf forever.
This was done out of BBC, but I know that it was a really research for that long, right? So I think that was my spiel about plan. Now, the silicon needs sometimes has like, so, I mean, every time, so much has been going on, the world should definitely have changed right now, right? We saw so many different initiatives that are, but again, I mean, the reality of, you see, the people with money are many, but the people with ideas are few, so money always wins. So, a lot of these ideas fall to the cracks because the client changes, so they stop funding in, the teams change, people lose interest. But there is talk now of creating this, I'm involved in some of the stocks, to, with a whole group of other people around the globe, to take some of this, to create like an NGO or like an agency that takes these ideas, finds the funding, and continue with these ideas. Maybe we don't need the glory, we just need to make the action happen. So for example, the cycle project, why can't we implement it all over the world? So for example, this agency or this collector, we went to every single country, India, Singapore, Australia, wherever, and we said, all we need is like, I don't know, I'm sure it doesn't cost a lot. Give us that money, we'll make it happen everywhere in the world. Right? So I want to urge you, if you have any sort of inclination to be a part of that kind of thing, right to me, is still in its infancy. We're trying to put together a group of people who can in their own time, it's a non-thing, it's basically taking agency ideas while keeping our day jobs. Awards that are really beneficial. And then we're trying and doing and making those happen. So that was one thing. But I want to leave you with one last piece of work. It was done in 2012, I think. But as you can imagine, that I've been in the business that years now. I get very cynical. Every once in a while, I was studying geography at school, always let me go and farm that you can care about. Or sometimes they don't say much, but every once in a while I see a piece of work, and then it reminds me why I'm in this business. So it's an old piece of work. I'm sure you've all seen it. I just want to show you once again, right? So I hope it's clear. I think it's sound here. It's not being very clear construction. I think that, this is the reason why a lot of us work in the business. It builds a brand, but it makes the world a better place. It keeps feeling. The craft is beautiful. It makes the world a better place. Just by being there, to put something so nice out into the world. And it makes eyes nice. So that's all I have to say, guys.
We open it up for a short Q&A. Any questions, please take the mic.
Yeah.
It's more like you, I'm not that like you. But we'll try.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you. Beautiful session. My name is Abhishek. I've been lucky and free to come 4 years ago. Trying to learn something every time. My question to you is this: as a Chennai boy, I hope you help us all win a con someday. We are a city dominated by mid-sized agencies, mid-sized brands, mid-sized budgets, mid-sized PR. So, in a world where some of these case films cost more to make than our ad films, we don't have 1 million views for our campaigns. Our clients are not known beyond Chennai. Do we have a chance to win?
Of course, you have a chance. If you have a mighty, you have a chance. You know, okay, this would sound a bit rankerish, but I think if we have, and there are tons of examples of agencies and countries that you're talking about, I mean, the kind that you mentioned, who have gone and won, actually, where they're struggling with the same situation. It's called the unreasonable edge, right? Because I mean, it's reasonable to assume that we are small, we don't have the budgets, our clients provide this, case study costs a lot. But like, it's possible to be unreasonable and say that I'm not going to let any of these things stop. I know it sounds facetious, but it is not. Because I think if you I believe that there is a way. It can be done, and I don't know how it can be done. But like for example, I'll give you a very simple example that just happened 3 or 4 days ago. There's a guy called Akram Mohammed in Bangladesh. He's a rising star. He's just set up his own business, but he has no money. He and I met a few times at and here and there. He called me out of the blue the other day. He said, look, I have some great ideas. Your network has some money. How about we collaborate? We share credit. You guys have to do nothing, put a bunch of money, I'll do all the work. Maybe that is the way. As just an example. I'm not going to trivialize it. It is an important question, it's an important issue. Everybody is struggling with it, including my poor own Havas. But there are ways. There just are ways.
All right, thank you. Let's finish question. My sort of question is about the first story in the case study is referred to magnetic stories.
So magnetic stories, yeah.
Should be going there.
Yeah.
Is there any technicality where the intersperse that all the sounds in the story? It's not the noise cancelling thing wouldn't have done.
No, it's not noise cancelling. I think they played the story together with the sound.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
So they have played the story. I'm just asking, a simple noise cancelling wouldn't go.
Yeah, we won't get you a line. So.
Sorry, I'm not understanding.
No, I'm asking, what was the need to create a story? The simply that no.
No, so because when we go, so what you're saying, if I understand correctly, is that every what is technical word for it? That we understand the sound. It's like analyze sound. So one sounds like a train, one sounds like a plane, one sounds like a spaceship. They build a story around the sound. So for example, Jack took the train and then this sound. Yeah, sound happens.
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking, was there any technicality? Because if instead that had some noise cancelling headphones, where it puts up all the sounds, so the children could have been calm.
Yeah, but nothing metallic is allowed inside an RM.
So that's what I heard.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That was like that. So that was not possible. Thank you so much. Before attending the session, we always thought that someday, some point, we might go to 3,000 euros per night, I think.
That's an online.
The fame is always there.
Yeah, I think numbers are gone up.
Somebody asked me for the delegate fee.
Yeah, delegate.
So it is, I mean, it can't be for business. It's owned by it used to be owned by the Essential Group, now it's owned by somebody else. They're more profitable than some of the holding companies in the world. Yeah, they really are. The last I checked, the very basic pass is about 4,000 euros. So that basic pass gets you into some of the It gets you onto all the delegate talks. It gets you some free dinners and doing some other. The highest pass is, I think, 9,000 euros for the platinum pass. It gets you every. Including that.
It gets you bankrupt.
So, but the platinum pass, we don't have to make a queue to get into some places. It gets you into, like, for example, one is for whatever, must be seen about, it gets you to that place. Networks do focus money out, but I think what is happening, unfortunately, is the networks are losing their spending power. Basically, so that the bootstrap process that I showed you is all the tech companies blogging some form of AI or gather some sort of automation. Basically, trying to cut, we can under the respirators of the industry.
So is it vegetarian food available in farms?
Is what available?
Vegetarian food.
Vegetarian food, Sunshine, there are two Indian restaurants. One is called Sitara, the other I forget. For my money, it might be share but I will also tell you, when you go to the first one, be careful because they give you a bill of 20,000 euros, but when it's 300 euros, but sometimes they will slide in and use it on the side. But then when you spot it, they'll apologize, they will give you the money back the next day in cash. But then when you go to another European country and try to spend it, you'll find that about 75% of it is portions.
The reason why I'm asking vegetarian food is last year, a movie Pocket was played in class. It was sent as a pedigree from India, not really marvelous. And Maggie is a pure vegetarian. He was there for 10 days. The biggest rule that he said is there was only one, every dish was non-vegetarian, every one dish with mushroom. And he said, yeah, I had it for all 10 days. It's the last time I ever went to the house. He said,
But our guys are attracted. So what they do is a bunch of us will get together. Not me, because I can live without this. I eat meat. So, but a bunch of
let's get into something relevant.
we do July also. So like 5 of us will get together and get an Airbnb. One guy will come with a cooker, the other guy will bring dal, the other guy will bring masalas, the other guy brings some oil. And then every evening we cook. And they are we do that, a lot of us. Alright,
Case study is a big thing, right?
case study is a big thing. So case study is how we say in our agencies is the ad for your ad. Because like you're looking at this and you can't bore anybody to buy your product, you can't bore anybody to give you an award. So a case study has to be clear, has to be entertaining, has to be so agencies they enter them in marketing categories. So if you're on the jury watching a 15 times. So it's like it better be have a nice black six in your head.
How long is usually 3 minutes?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes are cut off.
2 minutes is the cutoff. So if you enter 2.5 minutes, they'll cut it off. That's the thing. The value of the subs.
I just noticed the contradiction in your presentation, so I just wanted to see if you want to reconcile it. Because in the beginning you said the reason why blind people have those tickets is to inform the others that they're blind.
Yeah.
But then later on in one of your campaigns, you actually said it is used as a tactile device to figure out what is there. So I'm just, isn't that a, no, you talked about.
I decided about the first one. Second one.
The cement thing, the sidewalks.
No, you actually use the word.
So the one black, okay. Oh, that they works with your feet, not with your stick.
No, then if they wear shoes, they won't be able to see them.
No, if you have the issues, you have to figure out how many gloves there are.
But the
So
video,
it's-
but the video showed only the.
You put a stick in there as well, just to be safe.
But still it works.
Yeah, yes, you have to. So in Singapore, you have, not so specific, but you have this like, pedestrian crossing for blind people. And they know, like it is 3, it's a 7 kind of thing, it's 4, so they will be in there. But good observation.
And the diversity that you showed in your the jury, so I'm guessing they would have absolutely no idea about the cultural environment in which an ad is created or a campaign itself.
So they try to mix that as well.
So
they always have a brown eye, they always have a black person. Yes, it's not full.
So the only way the jury gets to understand what is going on is through the history.
No. So for example, if you have a question, the organizers can arrange for a call with the agency. And they can explain, like a real-time call.
So where does the Jeff Bezos presentation come into the picture?
So that is only for the innovation category.
Oh,
So innovation category, there are live presentations. Innovation and technique.
so when you're starting, sorry, one last question and then. So when you're starting off in your career, the awards make a lot of sense. But when I heard people like say that beyond a point, awards don't matter, but something else matters.
That's why he wants to do farming.
No, I'll tell you. I think it's the people who are middle that get there. But it matters to the people at the bottom. And so, for example, when a network makes a network of the Khan, in WPP, the stock would jump about 11%. And it's stayed there for about a week. So if your markets were, let's say, I don't know, a billion, I'm sure yes, a billion. But let's say it's a billion. 11% is
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So yeah, I think it's a middle one that is like, depending on the small bonus. So it matters if you're really comfortable, because the confidence, visibility, other networks will hire you, money. And then at the very top, you are like scaling with. The middle guys, I'm a middle guy.
No, you're
Do you have any other questions?
Sensible.
yeah.
Sensible ones. How do you feel about students sharing your data?
Sorry, sir.
Sharing your data.
Yeah, mine's very simple. It's Joji Jacob at Havas Singapore. JOJI.JSU at Havas Singapore.
So, my name is Surya. I started as a junior coordinator. I'm relatively fresh to Yeah, so I'm Surya. I just recently started as a junior coordinator. Recently, I encountered a problem wherein all of my copies were prefaced as AI by the clients. As the world moves towards the era of information, do you think that clients are undermining their experience of the agency when it comes to trading? Because they also have the tools in hand just to cross reference and everything. So even if I give something original, there is also the possibility that they are framing it as anybody. So how do you feel that creative should tackle this?
I don't have a definite answer, but I will hear it. If you know when did the websites first come? When was it? Which was the year of 1998. 1998. We used to have dial-up and then Yahoo would take like 5 days to bring up a website. Those days, people were scrambling for websites, and people didn't care for the quality of the website. I just need the website. Clients would go on like, I have a website. 2 years later, the look and feel and the UX and the UI of the website started becoming important. Right? 3 years later, websites became the scrolling kind of websites, very intuitive, right? My theory, I am not no AI expert, I don't know the first thing about it. my gut feel is that as we get more and more of this AI stuff, quality, I think what will happen is in this room, all the hacks will die. But the guys who really know that craft, really understand how to connect dots will survive. The return of the handmade will come. So, marketing manager's job is going to become fucking hell.
Yeah.
Why? Because right now, marketing manager only has to choose between two options. Or if the matter he or she is an asshole, maybe 6 options. But imagine if once AI is down, how are you going to choose?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So imagine if you have a, like what Facebook is feeding you now, right? Unless it's a 50% off, you're not going to stop there. So we were talking about this a while ago. AI depends on vendors as what has happened, right? But only human beings can imagine. AI can put something, but AI can predict, but it cannot create something. So AI can say, like a friend of mine who runs a startup called Oxygen in the UK, he had a changing scene. I think he's a bad guy. Not bad skin, anyway, he's a bad guy. So he had this theory where imagine a hospital is fully AI run, and this is geriatric ward. And AIs get together and say, okay, look, our job is efficiency. All these guys are doing nothing. Let's knock off the switch on the life support system. Right? That is the AI. But the other extreme is where some of the philosophers of this pundits of AI are saying there will come a scenario where all of the menial jobs will be done by AI. Right? Retail ads, Facebook ads, social. Then we'll all be sitting like Romans and we'll be hand-fed things. Now, I think the reality stays somewhere in between. There will still be grunts like you are mean. And hopefully there'll be good grunts. And it's a theory, I don't know. Because I don't think anybody knows. It's changing so fast.
Because the spread of information is pretty scary. Because you cannot even determine what's accurate and what's not. Even GPTs and other AI models are, they usara or kilo more. Chat GPT can make mistakes. May do your own research.
I think that's true. If according to some of these philosophers, they say AI will develop consciousness. Then we're finished. Then we don't have to ask the world today. Because there was the slaves. But till then, I think only we can connect those dots. Only we can read an emotion and say, oh, he's feeling like that, so let me, So AI will definitely look at your watch and say, okay, blood pressure is going up. He's better reading, get anything, but only you might know what to do. Honestly, I don't know. There is women in Japan falling in love with AI dogs. Anything is possible, man.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
I worry for you. I'll be dead.
Do we have a question?
So, like you said, 75% of the campaigns, any award-winning campaigns in Japan.
I didn't say sir, James Sullivan said, but yeah, I think I agree with it.
So, what is the percentage of work being recognized in India's top creative awards like Apple's? What will be the success percentage versus things work? Is there any idea?
I have no idea, sir. I've never judged Apple's or read Apple's, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't.
He can track that. He can track that.
So in all this, does the jury worry about the effectiveness of the advertisement?
Yes.
For the business?
Yes. So and I think it's becoming more pointed lately because there's equal representation of clients and creators. So the clients keep it very, very, very safe. And then the creators try to not keep them so safe. So I think it's a good balance. I think that is what is good about the new industries. Earlier it would just be creative guys who were like, ideas so great.
But is it being measured?
Yes, so every case study has to show what the results are, verified by a third party. And not just a case study, with the case study comes there's a whole document, right, written by document signed by the CEO of the company. If you have a prototype, you send the prototype. For example, if you say that this cup can suddenly talk in 5 languages, you have to send a prototype and test a talk in 5 languages. So it's not without its loopholes, but I think it's as good as we have.
In 24, in 24, there was a campaign by Coca-Cola, which had the Coke logo trust.
Yes.
And that was about recycling.
Yes.
And I think it picked up a bronze.
I think it was still campaign.
What I wanted to know is if an Indian or some agency did that for Owen to still pick up. Because if it's the idea that wins, does it have to be a Coca-Cola can in a street rush? Or are you worrying about how big that brand is?
That's a great question. Yes. So again, I come back to the degree of difficulty. So it's very easy for me to convince, Subbu soft drinks. Because he's my friend, I can say, this will be this favor man, tomorrow will print it. It's harder to convince Coca-Cola, right? Because it's massive Coca-Cola, right? They have a board. They say, I'm ready to show my kind first. So that is what I meant at the degree of difficulty. Where again, it's the consumers. I mean, you see a bicycle accident, you probably won't stop, but you see 2 big cars crash, traffic slows down. I think it's just human behavior. But having said that, if there is a small brand and it is the work is amazing, work cannot be denied. Great work cannot be denied. It's mediocre work where there all this kind of business coming.
How important is the quality of the submission?
Very important.
Apart from the quality of the work itself.
Very important.
And why?
Because it's the ad for the ad. It is the packaging of the ad. Like I was telling, like you cannot bore. David Ogilvy said, you can't bore a customer into buying something. You can't bore a jury into awarding something. So it has to be. I mean, these are human people sitting in a dark room, looking at case after case after case. So it has to. I'm sorry, it's human. Maybe AI will solve it.
Yeah.
What are the new agencies that will go forward? Leading very outside.
I think it's the AI sprouting every day. You never know. In my mind, that and it's got that out of the sea. It started GUT. Like that. They started to sell more now they're expanding, which I think is a dead nail of the agency. Because you can't. I've seen very few independent small agencies. Culture doesn't travel so well. Even if they get wider in Portland is not the same as wider in Delhi or China or Japan. But that is definitely come back to this thing. There's another agency called Uncommon, but Uncommon is part of us. So we don't know. No comments. I don't know many other, but I'm sure there are because I mean I think now you don't need so many people to set up an agency, and everybody's seeing the problems of the big networks. I mean, Publicis is the new Canada, and it's not new. Only comment means something else, but everything is something else. So I think everybody's wondering, especially and having like, what is this? What's going on? And now with like we have pointed out, if you have AI, a lot of it can be done by that. So you just need somebody to be able to connect the dots, remote work. So you don't have to have. There are agency models where There are no agencies, there's a bunch of people working together.
AI agency next.
Huh?
AI agency next.
AI agency, yeah. Alternative Hindi, yeah.
How do you understand the point that you made about maximum meaning and minimum?
Yeah. So again, sir, I think all the points that I derived are from one common insight, which is that the jury is also a consumer, right? It's not like I'm sitting and judging without any, it's not like I leave my human values behind and I can't become this whole person. So if I'm seeing that you, I think it's a setting story, right? So you, let's say when Picasso takes just a pen and he just this and that is more impressive, I think. Or most people, you would agree. Then if somebody says about it, it's a different kind of skill. But like use, it just impresses the human faculty. You know, so you've done so little with so much with so little. It's like how a certain color appeals to us. It's a bit subjective thing to explain, but like I think if you look at a lot of things that impress us, these are things that are simple, but at the same time have a big. Yeah, the sum of the parts is much bigger than the parts.
Okay.
That's what I meant. And it's really exciting.
No, that point is explained in the book you were talking about in the beginning. You remember? James Herman,
James Gunn, yes.
Case for Creativity.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's it.
You might want to go.
Do we have any other questions from the audience? I have one question.
Yes.
Was there any work that stood out from India last year?
So last time was India's most dismal work. This one year, there was a piece of work from Bangalore. There's a new Scala Design Agency.
Yeah, together.
Together. Where so they figured that they figured out that by the pitch of the voice, especially the female voice, you can tell if that person is prone to diabetes or not. So and they use AI to. So all you would need to do in a village is take a smartphone and talk it to it, and the AI will tell you whether you have better go for a checkup. You might get diabetes because of the pitch. So that one.
Yeah,
I think I didn't know that wrong. Gold, I think. I mean, I was just not sure of the wrong specified. But I have that. I leave it to Shota, please feel free to make it a better work. Just don't share it because also by Thank you. But thank you guys. You guys have been wonderful.
That's all 1 kilo. Thanks. To the treasurer.
This ad hoc session is getting more and more elevated with the kind of speakers that we are bringing in. So today evening was another jewel in the cap moment for us because he took us through because Khan is like tracking UPSC exam for all of us. So he took us through the streets of Khan, how it happens, the judging, and every moment how, and also he gave us some formulas to be applied to practice. So we just need to implement it. Abhishek has valid questions like being in a market like Chennai, how good it is. But again, he had some theories that can be applied. Thank you so much, sir, because it was really amazing and it took us, even for me, it is a wonderful thing because thinking thinking up on getting into it itself is a fear for us. Just like a state fear, we all have like, what will you do when you go there? You just gave a map of how to travel and how it works, like from the cost to everything. So, and then the well is the case studies that you have presented, that you have taken. There were some moments like the audio, because the minimalism attracts maximum attraction. So that's a campaign effect within that, because you all stood up and started watching it so curiously that the attention ratio was 100%. So thanks for that. Thank you so much, sir.
We'd like to call Navneet, the executive committee member, and you to give a memento to Joji.
Oh, taking the time. Okay. Wow, this, I love the way that happened from my assist. Thank you so much.
There's something special.
It's autograph pleasure. Yes, I really appreciate it. I had a blast. I don't know about you guys. Now I need a smoke and a
Yes, could we take a picture?
Of course. I'll take something. Yeah. So I might say some very.
This thing is over.
Oh, yeah.
Joji, you have a band here. More lights, sir. Look at, sir. Number 3.